Thank you. Well, and thank you, Anthony, especially. This is a real privilege for me to be your evaluator. This is my very first evaluation here at the club. And you're one of my favorite people in the whole club to listen to. I applaud you tonight because all of us at one point in time in our lives, whether it be here or somewhere else, has been stumped when we stood there, looked out into the audience, and then we froze up. I, for one, have, and I'm sure many of you have as well. And so I applaud you because you were able to get past that. I probably would have done a dance, but you did better than that. You actually continued on with the speech and what your intent was. One thing that I really enjoyed about your speech, specifically the purpose of your speech, and that is you made a comment. You said you need to know where you come from before you can go somewhere else. And that is so true for me personally, because your lineage, where you come from, your ancestry, that's so valuable. And tonight, I was privileged to listen to you share with all of us about the Philippines. And it was just great. I wish I could have heard more, actually. I would have liked to have known more about the Filipino people in general, because I've always been fascinated with that culture. But you did a very good beginning job for 5 to 7 minutes of expressing it and telling us about it. You made 3 points. You said, first of all, you were going to talk about the character. Secondly, about the dress. And thirdly, about the language. The character, you discussed a little bit about the Filipino in terms of the hospitality. The people are very hospitable. And you said, but they procrastinate. And I think all of us can relate to that. I mean, I for one, procrastinate quite a bit on certain things and don't say a word. But it was interesting hearing you say that, because I would have never thought that about the Philippines, about the Filipino people. I had a teacher in college who was my favorite professor, and she was Filipino, and she seemed pretty right on with everything, and she was always very well organized. But secondly, you talked about the dress, and I have to tell you, compliment you, that's a beautiful shirt you have on.
Oh.
And then thirdly, you talked about the language. Tagalog, I hope I got that right. I couldn't hear very well, but it sounded like that was right. And I've always been fascinated with different languages, and I'd like to probably one time in my lifetime learn a little bit more about the Filipino language. In conclusion, I'd just like to say, oh, before that, sorry, I think if there's anything I could maybe talk about as far as maybe something different that you might have done that would have helped, it would be eye contact with everybody in the room. You tended to look down at the floor, and you were so personable and such a great personality that you can engage the audience, in my opinion, a lot greater if you look at everybody and smile, and that kind of helps with the nerves as well. And then secondly, I think just visualization, maybe before you come up here, seeing yourself doing it perfectly, coming up here and actually performing as if you were an actor, not an actress, but an actor. So in conclusion, I have to say, good job, Anthony, for sharing your lineage with us, and thank you very much. I totally enjoyed it.